Welcome to Accreditation Made Easy, the podcast that takes the stress out of accreditation. I'm your host, Areaka Jewell, and in each episode, we'll deliver actionable tips, expert insights, and practical strategies to help streamline the process, and of course, make your work life a little easier. Now, whether you're tackling policies, preparing for assessments, or just looking for ways to stay ahead, we've got you covered. Let's simplify accreditation, one step at a time. When you think of a concierge, you probably picture that friendly, knowledgeable person at a hotel who can get you theater tickets. Maybe they book you a table at the best restaurant in town, or they just make sure you have exactly what you need for your stay. You feel me? They are part guide, part problem solver, and part ambassador for the entire hotel. Now imagine applying that same mindset to your next accreditation assessment. Think about it. Assessment Concierge. I like the sound of it. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Accreditation Made Easy podcast. I am your host, Areaka Jewell, and today we're talking about one of my favorite ways to reframe the role of an agency host during an assessment, and that's what I'm calling the Assessment Concierge. So an Assessment Concierge is someone in your agency who's in charge of making sure that your assessors have the smoothest, most comfortable, and most positive experience possible, not only before the assessment, but during and after the assessment as well. It's still about logistics and preparation, but with a little mindset tweak from coordinating tasks to providing hospitality. Okay, so let's talk about what that looks like in action. First, as soon as you're notified of who your assessors are, reach out to them personally and introduce yourself, whether you draft an email to them or you pick up the phone and call. Start building that relationship early. Next, find out when they'll be traveling and how they'll be getting there. Are they flying to you? Are they driving to you? And do they have any special requirements? Think of things like dietary restrictions or maybe allergies or even just personal preferences that would help them feel more comfortable while they're at your agency for your assessment. Next, start handling the travel and accommodation details. Find out what hotel you're going to put them in and make the hotel reservations early. I also recommend that you establish a relationship with the hotel manager. Let them know what it is that you're doing, that you're hosting these assessors that are going to come assess your agency, and build that relationship early. It comes in handy if there's ever issues when they get there or at checkout. Now, if the assessors are driving, ensure that the parking is taken care of both at the hotel, like don't charge the assessors for the parking, and also at your agency. Now, if your agency's parking is crowded, maybe you consider blocking off spaces just for them. I have literally been on assessments where they have had designated assessor parking. I've even had it where it has my name printed on it. Just an extra special touch, but something to consider. Here's a hospitality touch that I want to pass along that goes a long way. Offer to pick the assessors up each day at the hotel and bring them to your agency, kind of like a personal chauffeur. It's especially helpful if they're not familiar with your city or town, and it gives you a chance to touch base before the day starts. So consider doing that as well. Then make sure that they have what they need to access your facility. Is it a secure facility and you need ID badges, maybe visitor passes or escorts? Whatever your protocol requires, make sure you work out all of those details ahead of time. And if they need an escort, Yes, it can be you, but if you have the personnel, I recommend designating somebody to be the assessor's escort to take them wherever they need to go. Now let's talk about their workspace. This is where they're going to spend the 2, 3, maybe 4 days at your agency, so you want them to be comfortable. Make sure it's ready to go with the computers, everything set up and logins, comfortable seating, and just light refreshments, some drinks, maybe some fruit or some snacks. Again, think comfort, but also functionality. And don't be afraid to ask for feedback during the assessment so that you can make small adjustments on the fly. All right, alongside that, consider preparing a welcome packet. This could include things like your assessment schedule. Maybe it's a list of agency contacts, Wi-Fi information, local maps, or even recommendation for restaurants or coffee shops. A little local flavor makes a big difference. Next, if the schedule allows, I recommend taking the assessors out for lunch or dinner one day. It's a great way to interact with them without all the formality of the office environment. Now, here's the caveat there. If you do this, make sure if you're paying per diem that you avoid paying it for that meal that you're taking them out. You just want to keep things above board. Now, after the assessment is done, don't let the relationship end there. Send a handwritten thank you note to each assessor. Oh my God, it is so touching when I've received those after the assessment is over. It's an old school touch, but it really stands out in today's digital world. Now, when you bring this concierge level to your next assessment planning, you're not just hosting an event, you're creating a memorable, professional, and hospitable experience that reflects well on your agency. And here's something extra special that I have for you listeners. If you have an assessment coming up and you'd like a little extra flair for your workspace, I'd love to send you some Accreditation Academy swag. Think of things like coffee mugs that you can give your assessors or coasters that they can put their drink on. Even a mouse pad, if you go the route of doing an external keyboard and a mouse setup, which I highly recommend, give them a mouse pad. All you have to do is, I'm going to put a link in the show notes to a form that you can fill out. Just fill it out, and I will pop whatever it is in the mail. All you have to do is ask. All right, friends, that's all I have for you today. Remember, an assessment concierge isn't just about logistics. It's about creating a smooth, welcoming, and professional experience from start to finish. Thank you so much for listening. And if you found this helpful, please consider sharing it with a colleague so more agencies can put this concierge into practice. Until next time, friends, let's keep making accreditation easy, one step at a time.